Aryna Sabalenka never saw this coming. After weeks of breathtaking tennis, unforgettable moments, and a historic Wimbledon run that captured the imagination of millions, Alex Eala's remarkable journey finally came to an end against Jasmine Paolini. Although the scoreboard marked the conclusion of her tournament, few could have imagined that the biggest surprise of her Wimbledon experience was still waiting just around the corner. As Eala walked off centre court, she carried herself with grace and composure, proud of everything she had accomplished. While the defeat ended her dream of lifting the Wimbledon trophy, it also marked the beginning of an unexpected moment that would leave fans around the world talking long after the final point had been played. Despite the disappointment of her defeat, Alex Eala had already made history as one of the first Filipinos to leave such a lasting impression at Wimbledon, winning the admiration of tennis fans across the globe. Her fearless style of play, calm composure under pressure, and humble personality transformed her into one of the championship's biggest breakout stars. Waiting backstage was Catherine, Princess of Wales, who had closely followed Eala's remarkable journey throughout the tournament. Their conversation began with warm congratulations, as the princess praised the young tennis star for inspiring a new generation of athletes and for representing the Philippines with grace, dignity, and determination. Then, just as the heartfelt exchange seemed to be coming to an end, the conversation took an unexpected turn. According to this account, Catherine smiled before sharing a message that left Eala completely speechless. Catherine then smiled and said, "His Majesty King Charles would be honoured to welcome you to Buckingham Palace following your Wimbledon campaign." For a brief moment, Alex was unable to respond. She simply stood in stunned silence, wondering if she had heard correctly. An invitation to Buckingham Palace from the king himself sounded more like a dream than reality. Catherine reportedly reassured her that the invitation reflected the admiration the royal family had developed after watching her remarkable performances throughout the tournament. Although Eala's Wimbledon journey had ended on the court against Jasmine Paolini, this account suggests that an extraordinary new chapter was just beginning. As word of the alleged invitation spread, it quickly became a major topic of conversation in both Britain and the Philippines, with widespread public interest surrounding the unexpected development. According to this account, social media quickly filled with excitement as Filipino fans celebrated what they saw as recognition not only of Alex Eala's remarkable achievements, but also of their nation's growing presence on the world stage. Reports also claimed that even Aryna Sabalenka was surprised by how rapidly Eala had become one of Wimbledon's biggest international stories. While tennis headlines usually focus on Grand Slam champions, this moment served as a reminder that the sport is often about much more than trophies and titles. The account goes on to describe Eala's arrival at Buckingham Palace a few days later, where members of the royal household reportedly welcomed her warmly and escorted her through the historic grounds with exceptional courtesy. Every detail was said to have been carefully arranged to make the young tennis star feel genuinely at home. Inside the palace, she was ushered into one of the elegant reception rooms, where magnificent portraits of monarchs, statesmen, and distinguished visitors lined the walls, creating an atmosphere rich in history and tradition. According to this account, one of the long-standing traditions that symbolizes royal hospitality was carefully observed throughout Alex Eala's visit. Honored guests are often personally escorted through the palace's important reception rooms rather than simply being directed by staff, a gesture intended to convey respect and make visitors feel genuinely welcome. The story describes Eala receiving that same thoughtful treatment, as palace officials guided her through the historic surroundings, sharing the rich heritage and traditions of Buckingham Palace. She was then invited to enjoy a traditional afternoon tea prepared especially for the occasion, where delicate pastries, finger sandwiches, and fine teas were served while members of the palace staff recounted stories about the history of the royal residence and Britain's enduring connection with international sport. Soon afterward, the account says King Charles entered the room, instantly creating an atmosphere that was both formal and warmly welcoming. According to this account, King Charles chose to speak about far more than tennis. He reportedly congratulated Alex Eala for inspiring millions of young people across Southeast Asia, telling her that true greatness is measured not only by championships, but also by character, perseverance, and the ability to give others hope. Eala is said to have thanked the king for the extraordinary honor, admitting that she never imagined a tennis tournament would one day lead her to Buckingham Palace. The king reportedly smiled and explained that exceptional athletes often become ambassadors for their countries long before they realize it. As the conversation continued, it expanded beyond the sport itself, touching on education, youth development, cultural exchange, and the importance of encouraging young people to pursue their dreams regardless of where they come from. According to this account, many observers initially believed the invitation was simply a gesture of courtesy, but some commentators soon suggested there was a deeper meaning behind it. By that point, Alex Eala had become one of the Philippines' most recognizable sporting figures, with millions of fans following her matches and television audiences reportedly surging whenever she competed. The invitation to Buckingham Palace was widely interpreted by those commentators as a gesture that extended beyond honoring a single athlete, symbolizing goodwill toward the Filipino people who had passionately supported their rising star throughout Wimbledon. Some viewed it as a celebration of the strengthening cultural ties between Britain and the Philippines. The account also describes thousands of Filipino supporters traveling to London during the tournament in hopes of witnessing history firsthand, with flights from Manila reportedly filling up, hotels welcoming visitors dressed in Philippine colors, and the vibrant presence of Filipino fans adding to the unforgettable atmosphere surrounding Eala's remarkable Wimbledon journey. According to this account, restaurants near Wimbledon noticed growing numbers of Filipino families gathering to celebrate after each Alex Eala victory. While local businesses reportedly benefited from the increase in visitors, the influx of international fans added even more energy to London's vibrant atmosphere, as supporters from around the world came together to witness Eala's remarkable run. The story also suggests that Palace advisors recognized the impact her popularity had on the tournament's global reach. Her matches were said to have attracted countless viewers who had never previously followed Wimbledon, with television audiences reportedly growing, online engagement increasing, and international media devoting extensive coverage to her performances. In this version of events, the royal household saw value in recognizing an athlete who had generated such widespread enthusiasm and goodwill. To them, honoring Eala was a gesture celebrating not only her achievements but also the millions of fans who had traveled, watched, cheered, and discovered Wimbledon through her inspiring journey. According to this account, the memorable meeting concluded with a special presentation from the royal family. Alex Eala was reportedly given a beautifully crafted commemorative keepsake, described as a symbol of the enduring friendship and mutual respect at Wimbledon, but also the inspiration she had provided to millions of people who followed her extraordinary journey throughout the championship. Before leaving Buckingham Palace, Eala was reportedly invited to sign the official palace guestbook, where she expressed her heartfelt gratitude for the warm welcome and reflected on what she described as an unforgettable experience. Those present, according to the story, were touched by her humility and sincerity, qualities that had already earned her admiration from tennis fans around the world. As Eala stepped outside the historic palace, an enthusiastic crowd had reportedly gathered behind the gates, hoping for even the briefest glimpse of the young tennis sensation whose remarkable Wimbledon campaign had captured international attention. Supporters waved Philippine flags, held handmade banners, and eagerly waited for her appearance. When she finally emerged, she smiled warmly, paused to acknowledge the crowd, and waved with genuine appreciation. Cameras immediately captured the emotional scene, and within minutes the photographs and video clips spread rapidly across television broadcasts, news websites, and social media platforms around the world. According to this account, that simple gesture became one of the defining images of her Wimbledon journey, symbolizing the deep connection she had built with fans both in Britain and across the Philippines. The story goes on to describe how the moment resonated far beyond the palace gates, celebrating what they believed was an extraordinary recognition of one of their nation's brightest sporting talents. Children looked on with amazement, seeing a young athlete from their own country being welcomed at one of the world's most iconic royal residences. Parents reportedly used the occasion as an opportunity to remind their children that determination, discipline, humility, and unwavering dedication accomplish. According to this version of events, the visit to Buckingham Palace became about far more than a meeting with the royal family. It represented a powerful symbol of how sport has the ability to unite people from different cultures, inspire future generations, and build friendships that extend well beyond the tennis court. Although Alex Eala's Wimbledon campaign had ended before she could lift the championship trophy, this account portrays her journey as leaving a lasting legacy, one defined not only by her achievements as a tennis player, but also by the hope, pride, and inspiration she brought to millions of people around the world. According to this account, tennis clubs across the Philippines began reporting a noticeable increase in interest from young players eager to follow in Alex Eala's footsteps. Coaches spoke of children arriving at training sessions with renewed enthusiasm, inspired by the belief that dedication and hard work could take them from local courts to the world's biggest stages. Sports officials reportedly described the royal invitation as recognition that reached far beyond athletic achievement. In their view, it celebrated courage in the face of adversity, perseverance through years of sacrifice, and the determination to chase a dream despite every obstacle. Above all, they saw it as a tribute to the extraordinary ability of one young athlete to inspire hope and bring people together across different cultures and continents. The story suggests that although Alex Eala's Wimbledon journey ended with a defeat to Jasmine Paolini, that loss ultimately became the beginning of an even more remarkable chapter. She did not leave London holding the championship trophy, nor did she depart as the world's #1 ranked player. Instead, according to this account, she left with something that many believed carried even greater significance: the admiration of millions of people who saw in her a symbol of resilience, humility, and unwavering determination. Her journey became a reminder that success is not measured solely by titles or rankings, but also by the lives a person touches and the dreams they inspire in others. In this telling of the story, Eala's greatest victory did not come from the final score on centre court. It came from the lasting impact she had on fans around the world, the pride she inspired in the Filipino people, and the message that talent combined with character can transcend the boundaries of sport. The account concludes by suggesting that her Wimbledon campaign will be remembered not simply for the matches she played, but for the hope she gave to countless young athletes who now believe that no dream is too distant and no stage is too grand for someone willing to work tirelessly in pursuit of excellence. According to this account, Alex Eala's journey from a determined young tennis player with big dreams to a guest at Buckingham Palace became a powerful reminder that true respect cannot always be measured by trophies, rankings, or championship titles. Sometimes the greatest recognition comes from the way an athlete carries herself through moments of triumph and disappointment alike. It is earned through grace under pressure, unwavering perseverance in the face of adversity, and the ability to inspire hope in people who may never even step onto a tennis court. The story suggests that these qualities were what made Eala's Wimbledon journey so memorable and why her influence extended far beyond the boundaries of the sport itself. In this version of events, every challenge she overcame and every match she played became part of a much larger story, one that resonated not only with tennis fans, but also with millions of people searching for a reason to believe that impossible dreams can become reality. Her achievements in a generation of aspiring players, someone they could proudly look up to. The account portrays her as proof that success is not defined solely by the trophies displayed on a shelf, but also by the lives touched along the journey. Whether standing under the bright lights of centre court or walking through the historic halls of one of the world's most famous royal residences, the story emphasizes that Alex remained exactly who she had always been, a humble, respectful, and fiercely determined competitor who never allowed success to change her character. That unwavering humility, according to this narrative, became one of the defining reasons she earned admiration from fans around the globe. The account concludes by suggesting that while Wimbledon eventually crowns only one champion, its greatest stories are sometimes written by those whose impact reaches far beyond the final score. In this telling, Alex Eala's legacy was not defined only by the matches she won or the tournament she played, but by the inspiration she gave to millions of people who saw in her a symbol of resilience, courage, and hope. Long after the applause faded and the championship ended, her remarkable journey continued to remind people that genuine greatness is measured not only by victory, but by character, kindness, and the lasting difference one person can make in the hearts of others.